Sometimes bad things do happen to good people, and often when we least expect it. When we watch horrific acts on the evening news or read about stories of tragic illness, loss, or violent death, we might reflect on what we've just watched or read for a few minutes, but then go on with our lives. It is so different when it's personal, when it happens to you or someone you know. While this tragedy might not make the evening news, in your own private world, it's a headline that screams at you. If you have suffered a traumatic loss, you know that grief doesn't quite work that way. There is no quick fix for healing when your heart is broken. The death of a loved one, a family member, or friend is one of life's most devastating experiences. But the good news is that there is a unique organization in our own community. It's small in size but big in heart, where you can grieve in private and learn how to put your life back together one step at a time. It is called appropriately the Life Center. The Life Center was focused on its clearly defined mission: to provide counseling to those suffering a loss due to the death of a loved one, to victims of traumatic incidents, and to those who have suffered a serious illness.
What makes the Life Center special, I think, is the community. It's a very compassionate, non-judging community of counselors that really have the expertise to walk through and accompany a person through the most devastating experience of their life. Grief is the experience. It's a universal experience. It's the greatest equalizer of all when we have a death, and nobody really prepares for that.
The Life Center has continued to expand its services and reach out to people of all ages who are suffering. People from all walks of life have walked through its doors with these common denominators. They needed help and guidance to go forward with their lives, and understanding and information about what to expect on the journey through grief. In so many cases, this meant moving past their own personal nightmares.
Mariah had witnessed she'd lost both her grandmother and then her mother. And of course, at 4 years old, you have no concept of death or what was going on. And we knew she was in a very fragile, traumatic state. And we knew that she needed help. Of course, what we didn't know was how much help we needed.
A 24-year-old son, Jerry, took his own life at home. And we discovered him, and of course it turned our lives upside down, as you can imagine.
I got a call on the phone, and they told me my son had been in a car accident. It just like somebody just ripped my heart out.
Sad things happen to all kinds of people, and we just happen to be one of them.
Through established counseling strategies, a dedicated team of counselors gives people the educational tools they need to reduce some of the overwhelming trauma and isolation that can temporarily affect their ability to function. Cognitive therapy, stress regulation, breathing techniques, and other resiliency-focused therapies help people to work through their grief and regain optimal, productive lives.
Life Center helped me very much because it made me feel like I wasn't alone.
Profound loss is the most painful human experience, and it's not one we're ever prepared for. And when we go through it, it's such a personal issue that I don't think we have the capability to face it head on.
I keep my mother in my heart by thinking about her and thinking about the good times I had with her and never forgetting how much I loved her and how much she loved me.
Coming here, it helped me a lot, and just being able to talk and express my feelings.
They gave us permission to grieve. They gave us permission that what we had gone through was a horrible experience. And they gave us permission to allow ourselves to feel the pain.
Group therapy is a particularly effective approach for the Life Center.
We tend to use a group format here because it gives people who are in the group, who have been there for a while, an opportunity to see the new people coming in and to remember when they were that raw and to be able to gauge from that their own progress. And the flip side of that is equally true for the people who are coming in new to the experience, seeing people who are a few weeks or a few months down the road. It gives people a little more confidence, realizing that there is progress that can be made, that people do actually heal and get better.
As it remains true to its mission, the Life Center's quiet but caring reach extends to all people regardless of socioeconomic status, cultural practices, or religious beliefs.
We get people in the frozen rawness of the moments, the days, the weeks after it happens. Often, from a news story, they're in our office within sometimes 48 to 72 hours.
The Life Center also provides its services to area businesses, schools, and healthcare educators. The Life Center is called upon to provide its specialized counseling and consultant services. Local and national companies refer through their employee assistance programs. The reality is that the workplace is impacted greatly by grief-stricken employees who are not performing at their peak. In fact, according to a recent Wall Street Journal report, the annual workplace cost of heartbreak due to the death of a loved one is $38 billion. This cost stems from lost productivity, absenteeism, and increased errors and accidents, based on an extensive study by the Grief Recovery Institute. The Life Center also has a strong educational component. It provides specific seminars and training programs to assist human resource and management personnel to effectively intervene when employees are stuck in conflicting emotions and overwhelming pain of loss. Thus, the Life Center is a sound investment for businesses.
We've seen lots of organizations, anything from a school classroom up to various large corporations, that when there is a death of someone in the extended family, most everyone is affected when there's a death nearby. And it can definitely affect productivity, it can affect communication, it can affect all kinds of things that ultimately, from a business perspective, affect the bottom line.
One local attorney who learned firsthand of the Life Center services is Christopher Knopick.
I had a client who had a life-altering loss in her life. Her husband passed away unexpectedly. She had been kind of almost emotionally paralyzed. And as she spent time at the Life Center, she began to reemerge and become, again, an active participant in life.
Thus, the story of the Life Center continues to unfold, a small but vital organization reaching out to thousands among us.
Given that we've received over 50,000 referrals, we receive a lot of referrals from the school system, we get referrals from law enforcement, from other mental health professionals, from doctors, from hospitals. There's clearly a need for the specialized services that the Life Center provides.
We have to have the Life Center because those dark days come into everyone's life. And not everyone has the resources, be it family, friends, or financial, to get the help they need to get back on their feet. And that's why the Life Center has to exist.
If you or someone you know is suffering a traumatic loss and have nowhere to turn, the Life Center is there for you.
The beauty of the Life Center is that it's specific to helping people walk through and work through the sense of loss, the sense of helplessness, the fears, the vulnerability that we don't want to show in the world.
From tragic and sad events, growth can occur. From the darkness of despair, there is the light of a new day. With the help and guidance of the Life Center, you can now start to look forward to your future. You have taken the difficult but vital steps on your journey, a journey from grief to renewal.